Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening on a Friday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Very good. I can't believe it's a Friday already.
I know. I needed the weekend. I have not been feeling well.
Yeah, you were like sitting there nodding off. I was like, you okay?
Yeah, I'm not doing good.
Yeah, get some rest. And you want me to just do the rest of the show by myself?
Will you?
No. But I was just wondering if you wanted me to. Coming up later in the program, something I will do by myself. I'll talk to Dr. Michelle from Yukon-vet on Nat Geo Wild. So we're going to be chatting with Dr. Michelle coming up later in the program. Also, take a listen to this. You bored? You want to maybe jump off an 8-story building? No, that doesn't sound like a fun thing to me. But that's what happened. And it's on video. And you can see the video on our Facebook page. A dude was bored, so decided to jump off of a building from 8 stories high into the water. It sounds like a bad idea to me.
Sounds like a very bad idea.
Well, he did it, and he filmed it, and you can watch it at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Friday, October the 21st, Celebration of the Mind Day. So celebrate your mind, Heidi. Also, Global Iodine Deficiency Disorder Prevention Day. It's Mammography Day. No, I'm sorry, Mammography Day. That sounds better. Hey, let's pretend like I didn't say that. It's Mammography Day. It is National Pharmacy Buyer Day today. And it is Reptile Awareness Day. So be aware of reptiles today while you're having your mammogram and celebrating your mind. A lot of stuff to do on a Friday.
John and Heidi.
Legally, we gotta have insurance. That's why getting the very best rate is paramount. I'm Jared Parsons. I founded the first national and virtual insurance agency. Until now, you were limited to the agents in your area. But what if the rates are better somewhere else? At Parsons, we shop around and we get you the best rate. It's that simple. Go to radioinsuranceguy.com. That's radioinsuranceguy.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. A thief of Advil gets jailed for his 12th shoplifting conviction. What? Pennsylvania man has been jailed for stealing a $4.49 bottle of Advil because it was his 12th time he'd been convicted of shoplifting. Police say...
Is it still Advil every time?
I don't think that it's the same thing every time. Police say the 51-year-old thief of Advil, they say, sounds like it could be a world title. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the thief of Advil?
Yeah, apparently he does.
Serve 4 months in county prison, 5 months on house arrest, and 14 months on parole, and 3 years probation.
Wow.
For less than $5 worth of stuff stolen.
Wow.
Doesn't that seem kind of extreme?
Okay,
but it sounds like he's a repeat offender. Yeah. I don't understand why he would steal something like that.
He may have a problem.
Headache is what he started with.
He's clearly addicted to it.
Yeah, I don't know. So 12 shoplifting convictions, a $4.49 bottle of Advil, and now he's got a big price to pay. So, yeah, don't do that. But, you know, it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. I don't know if it's drugs that were involved here or a lot of alcohol, but take a listen to this. A security guard was checking out a broken window at a college in Sweden when he found a man with no pants eating pizza. When he asked the man, "What are you doing here?" he said, waiting for the police.
Oh.
Yeah. They came and they took him. The person that submitted the story did not know if he was drunk or high or just weird. But it was an interesting story nonetheless, and most likely alcohol or drugs or both were involved. I'm going to say drugs because he had the munchies and got the pizza later. Where were his pants? Why wouldn't he have... A pantsless man getting pizza
He doesn't
in
have
Sweden.
common sense to begin
Yeah,
with
I
if
don't
he's
know.
doing this sort of thing. So
Yeah, don't know. Bad idea. Coming up, we're going to talk about someone that got stabbed over bad chicken. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. A man accused of stabbing a Memphis gas station employee over a piece of, quote, bad chicken, end quote, was in court this week
Whoa.
facing aggravated assault charges. Police say the victim was stabbed in the lower leg by the suspect
Whoa.
during an argument over some bad chicken. How bad does the chicken have to be for you to stab somebody with
First
a
of all, if you're
spork?
buying it from a convenience store, you already know it's
You
going to
know,
be bad
No,
chicken.
I got to tell you, I've had some really good gas station food, so I disagree. I really
Have you?
I have. I've had some good gas station cuisine time and time again. But, I mean, I've had bad stuff too, but how bad would it have to be to justify stabbing this person? And I said earlier with a spork, I don't know what he stabbed him with. I just thought that would be a funny word to say. You don't say spork very often, do you?
Not near enough.
You don't see them very much either.
You don't.
Hardly ever.
Not even where they became famous at KFC.
They don't have them
ever
there
see
anymore?
him there.
Oh, well, son of a gun. I'll have to see if they still have them. Coming up, we've got your scoop of the day. That is on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your scoop of the day. The workers at Jim Beam, the production facility, went on strike, Heidi. Is this like the worst possible time for them to go on strike? We have an election coming up. People are going to need that Jim Beam.
There's other booze.
Hey, did you know that Taylor Swift is dating Ben Affleck? Have you seen this? Have you heard
I
this?
saw the rumors on the front of a tabloid, but I don't know if they're dating.
I don't really do the tabloid stuff. I don't really get into this.
I don't read them, but I was at a checkout at a grocery store or something.
There's
and
one reason that I'm going to read this story, and I'll tell you that reason in a second. It says, the latest Taylor Swift dating rumor, she's taken an interest in actor and director Ben Affleck. Affleck is still technically married to Jennifer Garner. They're going through like a divorce, right? Mm-hmm. A source, because when you read a line that says they're technically still married, I kind of think that we should explain that. A source claims Taylor is hoping to turn their friendship into a full-blown romance. So here's the reason I wanted to read the story. Because, when Jennifer and Ben Affleck got together, they started calling them Benifer. Remember that? Mm-hmm. So what are they going to call Taylor Swift and Ben Affleck?
I don't know.
Would it be 10? Taylor and Ben?
Sure.
Or would it be Baylor? I don't know.
My
You are
gosh.
clearly not interested in the jokes today, so I'll just move on.
I've heard them all before, so it's a little hard to.
kind of warm up and do a little pre-run with you. Hey, a man who likes to juggle while jogging completed the Chicago Marathon without dropping a single ball. That's cool.
Now that's impressive.
That is very impressive, and I don't think
Would
I
have
could
been
do
more
that.
impressive if we would have won.
Yeah, can you imagine that? And the winner of the marathon, and he juggled the whole time too. When you're juggling, you're not even trying to win. I mean, you're just not. That'd be
Sure
like
he
doing
was
the
trying.
Tour de France
It's
on
not
a
like he was trying to lose.
No.
So he was trying.
I don't think so. It's like doing the Tour de France on a unicycle. You're gonna finish, but you're probably not gonna be first. Hey, for those of you looking for something awesome for your feet, take a listen to this. They have some Halloween slippers, and I'm gonna click a link over here so Heidi can see them. What do you think of that?
I like
A
those.
face only a mother could love, right?
Our son would love them.
I think so too. Called Think Geek, and then it's called Zombie Plush Slippers, and I'll describe them for you. Radio works so well to do this. I'm trying to show a picture on the radio. But they're like little zombie heads with an eyeball hanging off, and then you put your foot in the zombie's mouth, which is kind of cute.
They are pretty cool. That's an awesome website.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh,
They've got a lot of cool stuff on that website.
I didn't know that. Well, anyway, if you would like to know more, I've got a link on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Take a listen to this. A third of the people you work with are disgusting human beings. Some of your coworkers are disgusting. Why? Because about 1/3 of them take their phone to the bathroom and then they text you and they message you on Facebook and they play games.
You know what? 100% of the people that we work with take their phone into the bathroom.
That would be me and you, and yeah, we all do that. 1 in 12 is taking food into the bathroom and eating or drinking while they're in the bathroom. Who does that? Those are the disgusting people.
Well, when you're not allowed to drink at your desk, sometimes you have to drink in the bathroom.
You hear Heidi go to the bathroom, you hear crack open a brewski. You're like, wait a minute. Where did she go? And finally, on Monday, China launched 2 people into space for a 30-day stay. Unfortunately, they were not Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. So wouldn't that be great? Yeah, China sent a couple of people to outer space. So that's kind of cool. Going to head up there for 30 days. Would you like to go to outer space?
Never.
No
interest at all. None.
There's a part of me that would like to do that because I think it would be fantastic and I think it'd be awesome. But there's another part of me that says, no way. I don't think that would be good.
The only perk about going to space would be I would weigh less.
Yeah, there you go. You'd be weightless. You'd be like, it'd be awesome. So there you go. Got a couple of fun facts for you coming up. We've got a guest on the way. This is going to do it for your Scoop of the Day.
John and Heidi.
Election day is almost here. No matter which side you're rooting for, you now have a place to get informed and to truly voice your opinion at politicalstorm.com. An amazing resource with information from people on both sides of the aisle all in one place. Watch videos, read blogs, listen to podcasts like mine, and read fun editorials. You can also contribute with your own blog for free. Be a part of the community at politicalstorm.com. You have a choice, and now you have a voice too at politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. For those of you who watch Nat Geo Wild, you're going to be excited to hear from our next guest. We have Dr. Michelle-Oakley from Yukon-Vet joining us right now. Super sweet lady, and we're going to welcome her to the program. Dr. Oakley, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
It's almost magical these days. We can click a little button and we can watch these programs that come from faraway places. As a veterinarian in northern Canada, your practice is absolutely amazing. How long have you been a veterinarian there in the Yukon?
Well, I've been living up here for almost 20 years, but I've been a vet here for about 15 now. And yeah, there's been a lot of things happen in what seems like kind of a short time.
And a new season of Yukon-Vet just started on October 1st, so Saturdays at 9/8 Central on Nat Geo Wild. But when did this program start? How long have you been doing this now?
Well, actually, this is our 4th season on Nat Geo Wild. So, we just premiered. We premiered October 1st, so we'll be going for 8 episodes every Saturday at 9 Eastern. And, yeah, it's been going, over 4 years now. My family helps me. I have 3 daughters who actually help me with a lot of the vet work, and a lot of people have noticed that they're kind of getting older and have been growing kind of as the series goes along. And, yeah, there's no shortage of wildlife and excitement where we are, so it's probably going to go for a while longer.
That's really cool, and that's one of the fun things about having a TV program is people get to watch the whole family grow up as you've got youngsters growing up. Now, how long have those kiddos been involved in the family practice? Is this something they've been doing for quite some time?
Even when my kids were tiny, they would, kind of out of necessity, I'd have to bring them along, if I was doing farm calls. Of course, they couldn't be involved because it would be more dangerous. But, as they're getting older, my oldest daughter, in fact, this season it's exciting. My oldest daughter is back from university, and she's kind of my right-hand woman throughout a lot of the wildlife cases. And that's super exciting, I think, for people to see. But for me, there's like this this feeling of, huge fear and stress because I'm not only looking after the animal, we were working on the grizzly bear together. All of a sudden, the grizzly bear stood up. So, I have to think about my patient, but I also have to suddenly think about my daughter now. But she's an adult, and so gotta give her a chance to shine too. Yukon-Vet
has been on for a couple of weeks already this season, and we've seen things like bears, and we've seen caribou, and we've seen all kinds of fascinating things. How in the world can you prepare for all of the different critters that you get to work on there in the Yukon? That would have to be really difficult.
Well, it's true. Like, there's different systems for sure. When you're working on a bison, that's a ruminant, very similar to a cow. When you're working on a bear, but it's sort of similar to a dog, not entirely. But you do have to learn all these different types of animals, the different body systems. You have to learn a totally different system for birds and raptors. So, that's just what makes veterinary medicine so tough, but it's also what makes it so awesome because, there's always so many new things to be learning and, and trying to compare and also how to adapt your tools to all these different species. Like, I have lots of things that are set up to work on cattle, but I turned to work on a muskox and they're just a different beast, a really grumpy different beast. So, it's what keeps it real for me is, always trying to figure this out and adapt it to what I'm doing. It's changing constantly.
So in addition to being a veterinarian, you get to be a translator as well. You say, okay, let's see, this is a bison, so let's kind of translate what we know from cows and make it work on a bison.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It can be pretty tricky sometimes, but it's all about being creative, little bit of MacGyvering. Actually, in one of the cases we had this year, and I'm pretty sure on the show, we were I was working on a horse, and it was a crazy wild horse, and we were trying to start it and do all kinds of things with get an injection in. And my oldest daughter, Fear, who was helping, was like, "Oh, let's get a stick and put on the syringe and make a stick pull." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's my kid."
Again, visiting right now with Dr. Michelle Oakley. You may know her from Nat Geo Wild's Yukon-Vet, and she's been a veterinarian in the Yukon for quite some time. But Dr. Oakley, how has your life changed since the television program came along, and now all of a sudden you're on Nat Geo Wild all over the world? How has that changed your life?
Well, it's awesome to be able to share what I'm doing. I love that, of course, but it's not like there's any celebrity status where I live or anything like that. I know everybody. There's only, 1,000 people in my town. There's only about 30,000 people in the whole Yukon. So you kind of know most people anyway. Some of the farmers I go to will kind of tease me, "How about an autograph there?" As I'm making out their bill. But then a few times when we've traveled for things for the show, we actually have had people, ask for pictures and ask for autographs, and it's just, when we're traveling outside of the Yukon, it's like, whoa, people are actually watching this. This is awesome.
Oh, I think there are a lot of people that are watching it. It's a fun program. It's Yukon-Vet on Nat Geo Wild. We've been visiting with Dr. Oakley. I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us today. It's been a lot of fun to catch up.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Again, Dr. Oakley, Yukon-Vet. You can watch this program on Saturdays on Nat Geo Wild at 9, 8 Central. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Are you ready for Duel? Kyle Dowling on guitar, Brett Gunderson on bass, Sam DeVito on drums, and frontman Duel Shape.
Gotta keep rocking, gotta keep sucking, bringing it down like rain.
Duel's new single just hit iTunes and it's selling fast. Get your copy now.
When you're lacking chains and you feel no pain, Supernova gonna get you too.
Their first single, Supernova, is available now for less than $1. Learn more and find a direct link to buy Supernova at facebook.com/duelrocks.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
For drinking, washing, etc., an average American uses 168 gallons of water every day.
Whoa.
Yeah, for drinking, washing, all of the stuff we use water for. That's a lot to water. 168 gallons.
That's one American or one household?
Average American. So
No
think about how
way.
much money or how much water just gets poured down the drain while you're taking a shower. And then 5 gallons when you flush, or whatever it is now, 2.5, whatever. So 168 gallons. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
66% of Americans admit to reading in the bathroom. We just talked about that.
Yes, we did.
This one is from Reader's Digest. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Every day, about 1,300 babies are born prematurely in the United States alone.
Really?
Yeah, 1,300 a day. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Soy crayons have been invented to replace wax crayons, and they are safe to eat. When I was a kid, did you ever bite into a crayon and test them out?
No, who
I did
eats
that.
crayons?
Well, I did. So said non-toxic right on it. So I was like, oh, it must be good for you.
This doesn't taste like an orange.
Kind of tastes waxy. And our last one, the 20th president of the United States, James Garfield, was able to write Greek with one hand and Latin with the other at the same time.
I knew that.
I can't write either Greek or Latin with either hand, so I'm no James Garfield. A couple of fun facts for you, though, right there on a Friday.
John and Heidi.
Legally, we gotta have insurance. That's why getting the very best rate is paramount. I'm Jared Parsons. I founded the first national and virtual insurance agency. Until now, you were limited to the agents in your area. But what if the rates are better somewhere else? At Parsons, we shop around and we get you the best rate. It's that simple. Go to radioinsuranceguy.com. That's radioinsuranceguy.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. We've talked about our first date a couple of times on this program, and it wasn't necessarily like the best first date ever. It was kind of almost like a job interview, but it worked out okay because, we've been married now for almost 17 years, so that's kind of cool. But if you do these 3 things on a first date, you most likely will not get a second date. So for those of you who are doing some dating, I got a list for you here. According to data from Singles in America, a survey, the biggest turnoffs in a romantic encounter are a lot more simple than you might think. For men and women, the biggest top 3 turnoffs were rather simple. What do you think number 1 is?
Looking at their phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
would agree with that.
I just grabbed my phone to see how annoying is this right now.
It's very annoying.
Ooh, hey,
when someone's supposed to be talking to you.
I got a text from
and
you.
They're looking at their phone.
Please.
Yeah, look how long ago that was.
Wrap it up.
By the way.
Yeah, look at that. I was on the phone yapping with somebody. Hey, so if you check your phone too much, turn off. What else do you think?
I don't know.
One that I would never do. If you don't talk enough.
Oh, yeah.
I would never.
Is the other one talking too much?
I would never, ever, ever get in a issue where I don't talk enough.
Fortunately for you, when we had our first date, we didn't have cell phones.
Yeah, we didn't.
So
was
that
a
was
long
not
time
an
ago.
issue.
Kids, it's not like we were poor or anything. People didn't have cell phones back then. And the last thing on here is if you try too hard to impress them. So on our first date, I didn't do my phone thing, and I certainly didn't not talk enough. But did I try too hard to impress you?
No.
Did I try at all to impress you?
I don't think so.
I don't either. I had just gone through a divorce, or was in the process of going through a divorce, and you had been through a divorce, and we were both pretty no nonsense on that first date.
Yeah. It's like, don't waste my time. I won't waste yours. Here's what I expect.
I'd pull out that chair for you and help you in, but I really don't care that much. So you go ahead and have a seat. You can help yourself. So, yeah, we'll have separate checks, please. I don't think I did that. It wasn't
quite that bad.
No, it really wasn't that bad. It was fun. You know what? I'd do it all over again. Would you? Well, you heard it here first. All right, coming up, we got some more fun.
Of course I would.
Okay, we got more fun stuff on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner or the person in charge of advertising, I have a special offer just for you. We're doing a jingle special this month. Did you know that when you put words to music, they're 9 times more memorable? How would you like to be the name in your industry and have people singing your song? We've worked with hundreds of small businesses to create their own musical image, and we want to help you too. Reach out right now and we'll give you $500 off. Squeeze it into this year's budget and get results for years to come. Learn more and hear examples at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com.
John and Heidi.
Moms, do you feel guilty working outside the home? Well, don't. Children with a mother who works outside of the home are less likely to have behavioral and emotional problems by the time they're 5 than kids with stay-at-home moms, according to a study from England. In fact, girls with stay-at-home moms were twice as likely to have behavioral problems by the time they were age 5, according to Dr. Anne McMunn from the University College of London. It says here, working mothers... Oh, I should do it with a British accent because they're from England. Working mothers... Am I doing that right?
No.
Is that even close? Should not feel guilty that this will have any impact on the social, emotional, or behavioral development of their children.
Wow.
I'm smiling too much to be British. So anyway, they're saying that it's not such a big
impressive.
deal. You say something with your British accent.
No.
Just say that was awful.
No, I'm not.
Please, do it. Come on.
No, let's
Just
wrap
say it
this
was
up.
horrendous. Just one word.
No.
Say no in British.
John.
She does a good job. She really does. All right, but she won't do it here. Coming up, going to talk about something happening in Vegas, and this is not just staying in Vegas. We'll tell you all about it.
John and Heidi.
A wise man once said, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Do you believe that?
No.
I don't either. What happens in Vegas does not just stay in Vegas. And this is happening in Vegas, and we're talking about it all over the country because there's a guy there with a gun shop, and he has a thing called the pre-Hillary sale. Have you heard about this?
No.
Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump's poll numbers have slid, and a guy with a gun shop called West Side Armory posted an advertisement in the Las Vegas Review-Journal hyping a, quote, pre-Hillary sale, end quote, warning prospective customers that prices will skyrocket once, and these are his words, once crooked Hillary is elected, end quote. So he's got a gun sale going on right now saying that it's going to be hard to buy these if she's elected. So that's what a gun shop owner is doing in Las Vegas.
Well, he's right about that.
So, well, it'll be interesting to see what happens there if that does happen. So this guy, I can tell you one thing, he was really smart about finding a way to get people to talk about this all over the country. Think about free advertising he's getting right now. Does it make you want to go buy a gun?
I don't need a reason to want to go buy a gun. She always.
Yeah, my wife sent a thing. She sent me this thing through Facebook saying that October is Buy Your Wife a Gun Month. I'm like, wait a minute.
And he didn't buy me a gun
You
yet.
said that about September, too. Is every month Buy Heidi a Gun Month? All right, coming up, we've got some fun stuff. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Election day is almost here. No matter which side you're rooting for, you now have a place to get informed and to truly voice your opinion at PoliticalStorm.com. An amazing resource with information from people on both sides of the aisle, all in one place. Watch videos, read blogs, listen to podcasts like mine, and read fun editorials. You can also contribute with your own blog for free. Be a part of the community at PoliticalStorm.com. You have a choice, and now you have a voice, too, at PoliticalStorm.com. That's PoliticalStorm.com. This is a little bit concerning because I don't know when I could possibly ever work out. Take a listen to this. I'm just saying. It's a struggle for me. I'm trying to figure out when I can schedule this in, but I just don't know when I can.
No, go on. I want to see where this is going.
Have you heard that you should take your anger and frustrations out by going for a run or working out? Don't do it. All caps on that, by the way. Why? Well, they say heavy exertion, such as an intensive run or a gym workout, while you are stressed or while you're upset, triples your risk of having a heart attack within an hour. Okay. I am always stressed.
Yeah, I am too.
And lately, I'm always upset. Can this election please just be done? I am so fed up with the media on both sides of the aisle. I mean, I'm just ready for that to be done. So I can't work out, at least until election time, and probably, for another 7, 8, 9, 10 years, something like that. I don't know. I just can't work out. And I got a great excuse because according to the research from Canada's McMaster University, while it's a medical fact that regular exercise is good for your heart, it may help prevent heart disease. It says exercising when you are emotional can actually be a bad thing. When you have, what were we talking about earlier? When you're stressed out, there we go, or when you're upset. I kind of lost track in the middle of this story here, didn't I?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's because I'm so darn upset I can't even rate. It says a medical fact. Where are we? Okay, when you're.
How many times do you need to repeat this? We
I'm trying to
know
find out where
you
we
shouldn't
were.
exercise when
The
you're
study?
stressed.
Yeah.
We know. You said that. You don't need to repeat it.
I'm so stressed I can't even read this story, Heidi. The study found that being angry or upset doubles the risk of suffering a heart attack symptoms within an hour. Heavy physical exertion also doubled the risk of suffering a heart attack. Being angry or upset and heavy physical exertion together tripled the risk of suffering a heart attack. So if you're upset...
But you know what? A nice walk when you're stressed is very relaxing.
Especially if we take our
should do.
2 little puppies. They love it. We should do that.
We should do that.
We should... Let's just go now. Should we finish the show first?
We should probably finish.
Okay, then we're going to go take our puppies for a walk because it's relaxing. Guess what? We have some good news on the way, and I love good news because it's always calming. That is on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, Heidi, and I think I have some.
Okay, what's that?
Do you remember the Ice Bucket Challenge?
Yes.
Do you remember what that was for?
MS?
No, it was ALS.
Oh.
Yeah, it was Lou Gehrig's disease, and also known as ALS. Well, take a listen to this. There's a doctor that may have found a surefire way of recognizing and treating ALS. This is cool. Now, you might remember the Ice Bucket Challenge. Was that 2 years ago? 3 years ago? It's been a while ago now, hasn't it?
2 years, I think.
I think it's 2. Anyway, whenever it was, A lot of people learned about ALS. Still, many people had no clue what it was, but it's amyotrophic lateral sclerosis disease, or Lou Gehrig's disease. By the way, when we did our ice bucket challenge, Heidi, cheater, pumpkin eater, we each had a bucket of ice water, and mine got dumped on me, and then hers got dumped on me.
I wasn't going to do that.
That was not fair at all. Anyway, the cool thing is, there's a doctor right now. Researchers and neurology experts have so far identified at least 2 major risk factors: age, with a typical onset between 40 and 60, and trauma. However, one physician, Dr. David Steelblock from San Clemente, California, has a slightly different take on what triggers ALS. He thinks that he might have cracked the code, if you will. If he's right, specific patterns of vertebral column injuries and re-injuries, this followed by degenerative bone changes that affect the bone, is triggered, and it says here, the player and the biomaker for sporadic ALS in many sufferers. That didn't make
any idea what you're
I have
reading?
no clue. I really shouldn't read
How
stories
do you know
that are...
this is good news? Because I
It's
didn't
good news.
understand the thing you said.
Let me just go back to this. Good news, Heidi.
Sad John.
A doctor has found a surefire way of recognizing and treating ALS. If you'd like to know how, I have a link on our Facebook page. This is clearly above my pay scale. I have no clue. It's like me reading the chart over here.
Oh, my God.
Can you imagine if I was the one who had to explain to somebody when they're in the hospital what the problem is? They're like, well, this thingy doesn't work on your other thingy, so they're going to put in a thingy. Oh, okay. It's going to be good, though. All right. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. If you'd like to read that story, and please comment on how awful I did reading it myself at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.